Have you ever heard someone describe something as a bold-faced lie? Well, turns out that's not actually the correct phrase. Hundreds of years ago, people would describe such lies as barefaced. The idea being if your face is bare, then you're completely undisguised, and therefore brazen. But a little over 100 years ago, people started using an alteration, bald face, whose use rapidly grew, and nowadays it's considered standard, at least in literature. But as of a few decades ago, another variation has exploded in use, bold-faced. This may have arisen out of confusion because the two words sound pretty similar. Some dialects even pronounce them the same. But its recent explosion of use is probably because of our modern proximity towards typography. You probably know the term bold-faced and referred to text, so it's not hard to imagine that you could extend its use to other situations. But here's where things get interesting. At the start of this video, I called the term bold-faced lie incorrect. But is it? Sometimes when expressions change, they change in such a way that the expression doesn't really make sense from a literal point of view anymore. But in this case, well, a bold-faced lie, that still kind of makes sense. The lie is bold. When an expression is misheard or changed, but in a way that still kind of makes sense, it's called an eggcorn. And I bet you have more of these in your vocabulary than you might think. For all intensive purposes is actually for all intents and purposes. One foul swoop is one fell swoop. And this one is peculiar to American English. You've got another thing coming is actually you've got another think coming. The really tricky ones, though, are the ones that are pronounced the same but spelled differently, like free reign, or expatriate, or praying mantis, or just desserts. In fact, I'm intentionally not labeling which ones are the standard and which ones are the eggcorns. Test yourself, can you even tell? My favorite example, though, is the word eggcorn, which itself is an eggcorn, a mishearing of the word acorn. Let me know if you can think of any other examples, and here's the answers for the homophones from earlier.